Well, good morning. Hi guys. I'm so excited to do this video and came out, got everything set up to do it, and looked out and there's a hummingbird sitting behind me, and I'm pretty sure you can't see it because of the glare. So I took some video of it that I'm going to stick in here. One of the YouTube channels that I really enjoy, GaymeBoyz with Johnny and Tim. And Tim worked with a friend of his who has a channel called the Sassy Cinderella that I had never visited before. And they put together a pin tag. And I haven't done one of these before. I'm still really new to this whole YouTube thing, obviously. And first of all, it just looked like fun, but it was such a neat piece of synchronicity because I had just finished and posted a video on a craft that I've been doing with my pins. And I had done a little how-to for anybody who might be interested in doing that, and I'll link it down below. But it just seemed like the perfect opportunity to use up the rest of my supplies and finish up some more projects with some favorite pins, and then come back in and share them, tick off the stuff in the tag, and also do it in a way that might be a little bit different. So I came out, excuse me, I'm having a hard time getting my engine started today. Decided to actually put something on Disney. It's an overcast day here, a really cool morning in Southern California, at least where I am near the beach. And I decided, hey, I can wear long sleeves. I can wear one of my Spirit jerseys. So I put on my Briar Rose jersey, and I don't think it's going to do its trick in here. It turned out that this shirt is pretty hard to get it to do what it does. But the reason they call it the Briar Rose is that the sequined parts, if you get them in the right light and moving around, the sequined parts on this jersey will go from pink to blue to pink to blue. And it's not something I can see. I can see it on other people who are wearing it when they're walking away from me, and the back is all super shiny like that, and it'll change colors, but I've never actually seen it on my own shirt. So that's okay though, you know, it's still fun. It's still fun to wear, and it's comfortable today. And I'm gonna quit jabbering about hummingbirds and clothing and start meeting this pin tag. So theme of the tag was seasons. I have some really kind of fun and interesting prompts to respond to. The first one is frolicking in the field. No, I'm not gonna focus here. Here we go. Frolicking in the field, show a pin of a furry friend. And that was exciting because the first craft that I did really, I think, meets this prompt. And so my furry friends are frolicking actually in the park in 101 Dalmatians. And it's 3 different pins. See if I can get it up close enough to really see it. I guess it's focusing. Okay, I took the face recognition off in hopes of getting better focusing on this. But of course, when I'm holding it in front of my face like this, I can't even see it. So I don't know if it's focused or not. But yeah, it's turned out pretty well. So that was the first one. And then the Festival of the Arts, show a pin that reminds you of music or art. So I've been going to Disneyland since the park opened, and about once a year, and more often since the 50th anniversary, the happiest homecoming, because I got my parents to get annual passes and I would take them once a month, and then my dad died. And since then I've been taking my mom about once a month. And then I had surgery and couldn't push her wheelchair around. So I bought a pass for my sister so that she can come with us, and we she does most of the pushing of my mom. I do some, and I do more and more all the time. But in this, there's been an interim here where she's been pushing my mom's wheelchair most of the time. The music has always been a huge part of our experience since 2005, mostly because with elderly parents, my dad was 84 and had been to Disneyland the month before he was diagnosed. Was his last time there. But we did what we call a day without a queue. There just aren't a lot of rides there that are easy for elderly people, or especially elderly people in wheelchairs, to get in and out of. And so we've discovered all of the other kinds of entertainment there are at the Disney parks, and particularly at that time at Disneyland. My dad was a musician, and in fact everybody in my family is a musician except me. I was a dancer. Someone had to dance to all that music. And my, what am I trying to say? We discovered the music and would spend our days following the music around. And at the top of our list of favorite music to follow around was the original Disneyland band that they called Waltz Band. They would do a set in the entrance area at the beginning of the day at opening. Then they would do a set later in front of the Sleeping Beauty Castle, and that's what this was. This was them marching out to do the Sleeping Beauty Castle set. And then they would go to Town Square and do a set of concert music, and every musician in this band was a virtuoso. And I will never forget, there was a wind instrument player named, Brian Williams was his name. And he did a piccolo solo that I managed to record that would just blew us away, and the concert in the park. And then later in the afternoon, they would do the flag retreat at the lowering of the flag at Town Square. And 2 or 3 years ago, Disney just wiped that band out. Just said, okay, we're not going to do that anymore after all these years, all these decades. Waltz Band no longer exists. And they farmed these guys out. There were some women in here too, to little groups around the park. Most of those are gone now. And put in a kind of a chorus style, very loud band that does just a whole different kind of entertainment. And frankly, we've been kind of listening to them since they started it, and they're just not reaching that virtuoso status that we got used to with Waltz Band. So it's been disappointing on multiple levels. At any rate, in the band, in the concerts in Town Square, our favorite musician was a bass trombone player named Toby. And I was so excited to find this Mickey Mouse with a trombone pin to represent. It was in a starter pack, I think. Several instruments, but because Toby had been our favorite in the Disneyland band, I was excited to find a trombone playing Mickey Mouse to put in to represent that band. So that was number 2. Number 3, Flower Power. Show a pin revolving around a flower or rain. And this one, the reason that I was attracted to this pin set, it's 2 pins, was because of the flowers that were around their feet. I thought the flowers took it from being a cute pin to a really exquisite pin. And that's this Bambi and Thumper pin set, the pin set. They came together. Those little flowers around their feet. So I'm a gardener, and so the flowers around their feet really did catch my attention to begin with. And then my favorite piece of music from Bambi is April Showers, so Little April Showers. And so this, to me, this fits this prompt really well. Number 4, summer down now. Show a pin that relates to summer vacation. This one is really hard for me to come up with a pin. I went through all my pins and there was nothing that screamed summer. Number 1, summer is my least favorite season. Number 2, I live in Southern California near the beach, and all of the seasons kind of run together. They're all about the same. And number 3, I'm not really into summer stuff per se. Like, I don't like sand. So even though I live very close to the coast, I've lived in this house 45 years, and I don't think I've been to the beach more than maybe a dozen times as far as getting on the sand and laying in the sand and wading in the ocean. I don't do that, but I do love the sea. And my favorite thing to do, even more than going to Disneyland, is to go out on a boat on the ocean and go look for whales and other kinds of sea mammals. So, and I have on my channel, I have a whale watch video posted. So as I was looking for something to post for summer vacation, my birthday is in late June, which is summer. It's after the summer solstice. And so I found one of the Mickey happy birthday pins that I bought, probably on a birthday trip there. And I put him on the whale scene from Fantasia. And to me, the ideal summer vacation would be somewhere around my birthday to get to go and go on a whale watch. So this is just a really fun pin. It gets presents from everybody. Okay. It was a stretch, but I made it work. I hope I made it work. All right, 5, light up the night. Show us a pin of fireworks or the night sky. This one was really hard for me to do because I couldn't decide. I did have a perfect pin for this, but I had another one, and it was for a different, well, let me just show them to you. Okay, so the perfect pin that I had for this was this pin showing, it was a Disney California pin, World of Color. Let's see if I can get it to focus and show it to you. So it's actually a World of Color pin that I was able to put on. My favorite scene from the World of Color are these little sparkly things that come up at the beginning and at the end of the show. So the pin has Tinkerbell, it has a scene from the World of Color. It has 2 scenes from World of Color, and I don't know what that upper one in the upper corner is. I don't have my reading glasses on. But I also, as I was going through the pins looking for something to use for this, I found another Tinkerbell pin. And I'm not that big a Tinkerbell fan. I'm not that big a Peter Pan fan. But when I saw this pin, I did teach middle school. I taught 8th grade for 25 years. And something about this pin just touched my little middle school heart. And so I decided to go ahead and put it in this, against this background. If you've seen the fireworks shows at Disneyland, you know that at some point, usually Tinkerbell flies across the sky. One year, Dumbo, it was in a season, for some reason they were flying Dumbo, and that was kind of a thrill to see that because I collect Dumbo stuff. But also, right now, during the Halloween season, it's Zero from Nightmare Before Christmas that's flying across the sky. But when I was looking to fulfill this prompt on this challenge, on this tag game, I ran across this Tinkerbell pin and decided it would be funny and fun to do it on a fireworks background. So here's the pin. Don't ask me why that reminded me of middle school students. I'm not trying to say anything about middle school students here. It just was the sense of humor of it I thought was funny, and so I stuck her up there in the sky during a fireworks show. And we can debate what is Tinkerbell thinking about when she's actually flying up there across the park, across the sky behind that castle when she goes. Trick or treat, show a pin of your favorite villain or a pin of your favorite seasonal snack. Well, I don't really like the foods at Disneyland that much. I don't like the snacks that much, and I don't eat them that much, but I do have a favorite villain, and that is Maleficent. And there's a fun thing to do at California Adventure. You can go into the animation building down into the Beast Library, and there's a set of computers set up. They look like books, and a series of questions to answer. And then they will tell you, and they take your picture, and then they will tell you what your Disney character is. And when I did that, my Disney character came out to be Maleficent. And I didn't quite know how to take that. She is my favorite villain, but I didn't answer any of the questions in such a way that I even should have gotten a villain. Maybe the camera thought I looked like her, and that could be. But at any rate, I've never retaken the test because I don't want to lose this as my Disney character. And I'm very excited that the new live action is coming out. I loved the first live action Maleficent movie. I went and saw it in a theater 8 times. And I'm excited to see the next one. I'll be going to Massachusetts at about the time. I'm going to Massachusetts for Halloween and with friends. And my friend and I are going to go see Maleficent together, we hope. I hope. So I'm not going to see it until I get there. The cold doesn't bother me anyway. Show a pin that reminds you of the cold winter. Again, Southern California near the beach, we don't really know what winter is. And I didn't really have any pins to show winter. I had bought this Olaf pin at some point because I like these little snow baby things. And that was the only one that I could grab that seemed to work for this game. Unless it was a Christmas pin, but that's the bonus one. So at any rate, there's Olaf and the babies, and then the last one, New Year, New You. It's really apropos, actually, trying something new this year to learn everything that I need to learn to successfully post a YouTube video. Show a pin that shows change or transformation, and to me there was just no argument here. I saw Sleeping Beauty, the animated Sleeping Beauty, when it came out in the theaters. I think I was 8 when it came out. It's always been, until Coco came out, it was my favorite Disney movie of all time, and it's still my favorite Disney classic animated movie. And so my favorite characters in the movie are the 3 fairies, Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. And I think they are the perfect example of transformation. They have to transform from their fairy form into human form for the 16 years that they raise Aurora. It's not an easy thing for them to do. They're pretty inept at the whole thing, but they all manage to survive it, still liking each other, sort of. And then they transform back into fairies and become warriors. So they transform into warriors to fight Maleficent and to save Aurora and to save Philip, who's trying to save Aurora. So I put this scene together. It's interesting to me that, at any rate, yes, her dress, in this pin she doesn't transform. I have a pin where her dress, Aurora's dress, transforms, but that's not what I'm trying to really focus on in this picture. I had managed at one point to find a pin of Hubert and Stefan, and they are raising their glasses in a toast, But the way I was able to arrange this, it looks like they're actually toasting Flora and Merriweather and Fauna for their work in helping to save the kids, their children. So this was really fun to do. These were all really fun to do, and I'll put the link to the little how-to craft thing down in the description if you want to see how I did these. They're really cheap, fun, and fast. And then the bonus is to show my favorite holiday pin. I didn't put it on a background, and I actually had a hard time deciding because I have lots of holiday pins. But the one that flashed into my mind and really is my favorite, all-time favorite, is this little, I like the way Tim does this, but I'm not sure it's going to work for me. Christmas tree with the Mickey ornaments on it. And I went looking for this one because it just came into my head, and I said, oh, no question, it has to be this one. And also ran across this one that I really do like. Do it this way, yeah. And it has the, you know, wishing on a star theme. It has a little shooting star that goes across. So if you want your wishes to come true, you have to believe they're going to come true. So that's the tag. It was so much fun to do, and I really appreciate Tim and Heather, I think her name is Heather, from Sassy Cinderella, getting together and taking the time to put all this together for us, because it was really fun. It was really fun, and now I get to go continue my learning process to see if I can remember how I post stuff. I seem to have to, in addition to just learning this craft of putting stuff on YouTube, I also am transitioning from a Windows-based operating system to an iOS-based system. I'm changing from Microsoft to Apple. That's a huge learning curve. And I managed to kind of fight my way through. Every time I try to edit and post a video, the editing's pretty easy and fun. And I try to learn something new every time I do one. But the posting of it and the storage, and where in the world does a MacBook put stuff? I can't find. I'm using up my memory that I wanted to do the videos is getting filled up, and I don't know where all this stuff goes. I don't know where it went. So I'm going to have to get myself an appointment with Genius Bar and have them show me where all this stuff is. All I know is that I'm watching my available memory go down, and I don't know where it's putting it. So anyway, thanks a lot. I'm dithering about the house today. I had a long week. I was tired this morning. I have something fun to do tomorrow. At least it's going to be fun for me. I don't know if they'll let me video it or not, but I'll certainly show you what I do when it's done. And yeah, have a great day. It's Friday here, coming into the weekend. See you next time.